right. So everyone, my name is Sebastian Mora, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Alphana. And so today we're going to dive a lot deeper into Alphana. Last week we had our first ever Insider Live, and many of you were able to join us, which was fantastic. We dove really deep into how to really personalize content in Alphana, how to make content sound like you, what language you prefer, and all these items. And so for everyone out there, if you're trying to understand how to make content sound a lot more like you, leveraging AI right inside of the Alphana platform, I definitely want you to check out that replay. Now for today, we're going to switch things up a little bit more. What I'm going to show a lot of you is how you can never run out of ideas again, and how to come up with content by tapping into existing content and trends and turning them into daily posts. And of course, we're going to use Alphana to help you to do that. And that's going to dive deeper into showing you other aspects of Alphana that maybe some of you aren't using today. And so if you are trying to come up with ideas, or you have excuses or reasons why you can't post daily or a couple times a week or anything like that, and you need some ideas, I think this is going to really help. And we'll try to get a little bit of audience engagement as well. So throughout this process, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to do a lot of demo on here. And if there's anything specific that you guys want to know, anything you want to learn or anything like that, drop it in the chat. And as we're going through, I'm going to take a look here and there. And that way we can throw that into the demo as well. So this is really to help you dive into Alphana, really learn and become even more of a pro than what you are today. And for those of you that are new and you've never been in Alphana, hopefully today this will excite you enough to jump on. All right. What you're seeing right now is on the Alphana dashboard. Now, of course, I've got a lot of projects. I set it up in here. Again, I also have multiple accounts. So this is essentially a project view and shows you all of the different projects that you have in here. From one of the first things that we'll talk about on how to come up with ideas, right? What do we need to do? One of the things that we want to leverage is, and something that does really well on social media, is our items that are trending right now, right? You know, something that happened 5 years ago, it's a different way to bring that back to talk about content. But if you could talk about some recent happenings or recent trends, or leverage data and research and tie that into your posts, you could come up with content almost every single day. And I'm going to show you some ideas of how you can do something like that. One of the tools that we're going to leverage today with Alphana is going to be DeepSeek. Because what we're going to do today is we're actually going to leverage DeepSeek and their model, which kind of gives you a little preview of it. But this is something that's been running around in the tech industry and has a ton of awesomeness inside of it. It's a new AI model that came out of China. What's great about it is that they actually trained their entire AI model for much less dollars than what the OpenAI and ChatGPT did. And so I'm going to show you how we could do this in DeepSeek. And, you know, on this conversation, we'll probably not talk as much as it is in Risky. So I wouldn't put personal data in there. But if you're trying to do online research and you're not putting in personal information, you could take advantage of it. So, I've got a free account. Essentially what DeepSeek will do is it'll search the entire internet, right? And it'll go through a ton of different articles. It'll read it for you. It'll analyze it, and it'll come back with you with the takeaways or whatever it is that you're asking for it. ChatGPT has a similar feature to it. So you could do the same thing in ChatGPT, and you can also use Perplexity. I'm leveraging DeepSeek because this came out very recently. And this is part of what I'm showing you, is that this is something very important happening in the industry today, at least from the AI side. And of course, we're an AI company, and a lot of you are trying to leverage AI in what you're doing. And so this was an opportunity for me myself to bring up recency into the content that we're producing, and how I could show you how you can leverage this with Alphana. But this can apply to a dozen other tools that you can use as well and tie that into Alphana. And so maybe for this, what I could do is kind of put together in here, and I'll say, all right, one of the things that you're going to want to do is really tailor it towards your industry and what you do, right? In my case, I'm going to do it about a topic. DeepSeek is really trending right now. So I'm going to ask it here, what are the top 10 key points from the release of DeepSeek and recent developments about self-improvement in a list format? So right now I wanted to research the internet. Give me the top 10 key points about DeepSeek. That'll help you learn as well. They also had something in there where they had self-improvement that made it 200% faster. And so I want to learn about this and pull those key insights. And I'm just going to go ahead and click send. Now it's going to go online and search the internet and go through a ton of articles. And you're going to see that happening here in real time. So it found 50 results. Here are the results on the right. Yes, there's some Chinese sources as well because this came out of China. And look at this. It's already pulling 10 key points. It read all the articles, right? Just think about how many hours you would have had to have done to go through, read all through the articles, figure out everything that was key about what's happening with DeepSeek, and then to come back and to write a report on it, right? This would have taken somebody hours back in the day. And now I'm getting real live data, live sources. We're not talking about, 10-year-old data. This is all new stuff, right, coming in. And so here we go. We've got 10 of them. So what I want to do is I want to see some of this that's kind of like, all right, let's focus on the top key points that would make great headlines. So now I wanted to narrow it down a little bit more for me and figure out the ones that make great headlines. And so I'm going to let that do its work. So yeah, this is a little busy, but you could do the same thing right inside of ChatGPT, right? And so I'm going to show you guys that here. I don't know if everybody has, if you've tried the search feature, but that way everyone here can see a comparison. I'm going to go ahead and enable search and let's see, and click send. All right, perfect. So we've got this. These essentially show you the results just like on DeepSeek. DeepSeek, I think, had 50. OpenAI doesn't show me how many it had, but it looks like a little bit less than 50, maybe 20 to 30 sources that we can see here. So for now, I'm going to go ahead now and grab this. So it's like, all right, we want to talk a little bit about DeepSeek in this particular post, right? And I'll show you guys more examples later. Now let's go into Alphana. A couple things that people don't realize in Alphana is that you could use it to generate content. You could also use it to extract content. So for example, Jane, you asked, hey, can I go into YouTube and ask info from YouTube? I don't know if DeepSeek will do that. It'll probably do public search results, but I don't think it has access directly to the transcripts. We could give it a shot. But if you've got a YouTube video, and I'll show you, that's one of the second items, you could actually take that YouTube video into Alphana and then generate ideas from there too. So the first pass is I want to show you how to get live data. And then the second pass would be, all right, let's go grab a content like a YouTube video and bring it into here as well. All right. So now what we want to do is create a project in Alphana. And that's up here in this little create button that you see on the top left. Now this pops up and this allows me now, you'll see this text box here. I'm literally going to take this post. Actually, let me grab this here. Here are the top 10 key takeaways. Perfect. And copy that. I'm going to go back into Alphana. And all I'm going to do is paste that right here. So in this text box, I'm going to paste this context. And it gave me the top 10 key takeaways from DeepSeek. And I'm going to go ahead and now select a template. I created a template specifically for this demo, and I'm going to publish this so all of you can have access to it too. But the social post ideas that we're going to do is we're actually going to create content for LinkedIn and X. And so these are going to be examples of text posts so you guys can get an idea. Now I'm going to click on that, click next, and generate. So we're going to let that run. Now, what's great is that now we're going to generate a couple ideas for like highlights, a so what post, another LinkedIn post idea, an X post, and then we generate a couple viral hooks. This is going to give you a couple examples of content that could be generated. And this is all from text that we inputted in here. And so this should be, it's writing, here we go. Now this says video highlights, but this card also works for both video and for text. So don't worry if it says video, it works in both ways. And so you'll see here, it just generated now a LinkedIn post. This is another one. Ah, interesting. This is where a little bit of prompt engineering is going to come into play. All right, so let me see the card that you have there. Did you create the different topics that it is creating? Yes. So these right here, these everything you see here are what we call AI cards, or think of them as content cards. And we already have an entire library of these cards in Alphana, so you don't have to know how to prompt it or choose it. And so, for example, this one here with video highlights, we generated it. I created it on a template. And if you click edit, we also provide you with the full prompt that was used to make this, which is a really long prompt. We're essentially saying create an engaging LinkedIn post from video content, follow this exact format. And so again, this works for video or text or audio, but essentially we put in a really a good format that works for LinkedIn that can give you highlights, but in a different way. And it automatically generates the content once you select that in your template. And so, we have a couple variations. So for example, this one here, this is where I'll go into, like, sometimes it doesn't generate the first time when you create the project. All you need to do is click regenerate. And when you click regenerate, it sends it right back in order to get done. This just sometimes with AI, right? Everybody's probably used things like ChatGPT or any others. Sometimes it doesn't get it right the first time. That's why the regenerate button is so important. If you ever see something like that, whether this tool or another one, hopefully they all have a regenerate button of some kind. Just click regenerate. That usually does the trick. And I mean, just look at this post, right? Here's a LinkedIn post, and it's like, all right, you have 2048 GPUs ready to roll. So what? Here's what actually matters. Are they efficient? Can they reduce costs? How much processing power are they using? What's the market impact? Think about it. And then it really goes into, these are very short and concise, right? And it's on purpose. This is to kind of lead the reader to really read through and see the content. This is something that would perform pretty well on LinkedIn. And it took context directly from the top takeaways that we found from these AI models, and extracted those insights in order to create this post. And so here's another one. I'm going to go ahead and click regenerate and let that ride. Again, this is live demo, so if something goes wrong, you get to see it here with me live, but I'll show you how to take care of it. And here we go. Here's another LinkedIn post. So the main value I find is finding clips from longer videos. I feel lost beyond that on how it saves me time, but curious to see what you will say. Great question. Okay. Yeah, I think grabbing clips is a huge feature, and I'll show you something on that today as well. But this is other ways of being able to generate content. Hopefully this part's valuable and you'll get to see a lot more of that. Can we use this and create emails too? Yes, you can definitely create an email or a newsletter, or you can bring in your own prompts as well and generate based off of that as well. And I'll show you how to do that. So this gives you an example of another LinkedIn post. Now, what's great is I gave 3 examples here, right? So you've got the video highlights feature, which dives deeper more into the takeaways from the video, but in a different way. The so what, it took insights from the article, but it's not recapping the article or the content that we put in here, right? It's generating you completely new content based on some of the insights that came out of that, either video or the context we added. This one, the same thing, right? So, I mean, if you just read the statement, right, your model might be impressive, but it could be holding you back. Those cutting edge algorithms, the complex computations, the carefully crafted parameters, they're not always maximizing your performance. Here's the tricky part we deal with daily. And then it goes into the bullet points of it, right? And so what's important for everybody to understand, we talked a little bit about it on our last session, but you'll see that they all start with some sort of catchy hook. The hook is like the first few seconds, the first 2 or 3 lines of whether it's an article or the first, couple seconds of a video that really draws the reader or the viewer in. I'm going to continue and always say this. If you could have the best content in the world, and it might be the best that people will learn from or anything like that, but if you don't have the right hook, no one's going to see it because the algorithms aren't going to draw people to it. People scroll very quickly. They skim pretty quickly. And so the hook is what draws them in. And you want them to be like, all right, what's on the next line? What else? What else? What else? You want to just kind of draw them in as they're reading. Or if they're watching the video, you just want to keep them hooked as they're going through that video. So that's why we show you this. The other one, for anybody here who posts on X, or if you don't post on X, this can get you posting on X. We actually generate, and we call this the hook and list thread. And so you'll see here, again, the first tweet or post is going to be the hook. So DeepSeek's latest version turns heads in the tech world. Efficient and powerful, it uses a fraction of the GPUs compared to its competitors. People are amazed by its performance and low-cost approach. And then it kind of really dives deep and it creates several posts that you could put into a thread. Let me see. Now, here's what's great. If this was done from a video, we bake it into the prompts. So you'll see here, like, learn more about DeepSeek and its developments with the full transcript. Or if in this case we used a video, it would be a link to the video. Because if you're leveraging something, let's say on YouTube or another piece of content, what's great here is you could credit them back, right? You leverage it, you created content that you can put out there. You become a thought leader or someone who helps to break news or whatever it is part of your industry. And then when you come back in here, you attribute, you could even say things like, this could even be a hook. Like, I just watched a 3-hour video and I took out all the fluff and turned it into a 30-second takeaway. And now you're breaking down what happened in that video, right? That's just an example of what you could do. And then you can also attribute to it in a comment or in a link. The other thing that we did to generate ideas, let's say you want to draft some posts on your own, or you want to figure out the direction of the post. We actually draft several hooks alone. So these are only the first, 2 to 3 lines of what you would see, so that you can help figure out like, okay, what direction do you want your content to go in, which gives you a ton of time. So hook 1 in this example is like, why DeepSeek's FP8 mixed precision training is a game changer. It reduces blah, 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 right? Now, I know this is very technical. I want to do a digital marketing example with you guys now, but this just gives you a couple examples of ideas. And then for Twitter, the hooks are a little bit different, but we provide them to you. So it gives you the statistic hook, which extracts the statistic from the insights, the pain hook, dealing with high computational demands. There's a streamlined solution with DeepSeek's low precision training. Discover it in this thread. So this is great if you're trying to come up with ideas or figure out the right hook. Because for example, you might have a great post here. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't like the hook. You can come back down here and you get 10 options to choose from. And then you can grab the one that you like, take it, and from there you can leverage it to post on social media. So all hooks are different for different platforms in general. Yes, so for different channels, the hooks are a little bit different. I'll give you an example. So LinkedIn, and for example, I might shorten these even a little bit more, which we could do. But on LinkedIn, you have 2 lines before the little button that says read more, where you can expand that on LinkedIn, right? And so you want to make sure that your hook is within those 2 lines and it doesn't get cut off, because that's what drives the person on LinkedIn to be able to click the read more button to continue reading the post, which again shows that the user is engaged and interested in your content, which also helps like the LinkedIn algorithms to be able to share that content with more people that might want to see what you put on there, right? And so these are all signals that the social platforms leverage. But on Twitter, it's a little bit different. So on Twitter, you do have space for 3 to 4 lines, depending on how it is. And so you'll see the structures are slightly different. Like, in here, you're driving them to go into the thread. Here, it's 3 lines, right? And so the structures are slightly different depending on the social network. And then video hooks are even different, right? So if you're going to do a hook for like TikTok or Instagram, it's not 3 lines. Now, you want to keep it short, but it's going to be a one-liner that really captures them in. And of course, the more content you have that's catchy and hooks the person in to continue watching the video, it works great. But Instagram and TikTok is going to be different for video versus what you would do for like a written text post. All right, so let's grab another topic. Somebody said something about digital marketing. So I would assume, if you have a digital marketing system or you do strategy, you want to figure out the pain points of your customers and what they're interested in. And it could be all aspects of digital marketing, right? Okay, so B2B as an example, time, how to make money online. So, what we could do is, let's say, find a video like how to make money online as an example. And we could find a video. It's funny, this one is saying how to make $1,150 a day with DeepSeek. That's an interesting one. So we can see laziest way to make money online in 2025. All right, so let's just grab this one as an example. We're going to go into Alphana and I'm going to go ahead and click create. I'll go to YouTube and this is going to open up. And so when I click create, I click the add YouTube button. I'm going to go ahead and click import. So now in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to try to create content related to this audience. And we've got different templates that you can leverage. So one of them I think we can use is to be able to extract clips from content. And so we'll pull this up so we can see what that looks like. And then the other one that I want to look at is B2B. Let's think of some ideas. I'm going to go ahead and use ChatGPT in this example. What's trending today in B2B social media strategy? So let's try to pull some recency, see what's going on. All right. So now it's like, all right, today's landscape, here are a couple trends. Short form video, that's important. Authentic engagement, influencer partnerships, educational carousel posts, social media customer support. Now I like to leverage data. So can you give me the top 10 takeaways and include data and metrics with those sources? Make sure it's what's trending today. Just putting that as an example. All right. So now it added a couple insights, like 90% of vertical videos have higher watch time. So that's good. Okay. So we could just grab some of this if we wanted to, right? All right. I had that ready there because I wanted to make sure the video can process, but I'm going to go ahead and do this with you guys here. In this case, I'm just going to generate maybe some marketing content. We'll use the marketing workflow and see how that turns out. And I'll click transcript. So we covered this on our last call. If you want the content to be a little bit more tailored, you can edit the transcript so that you can edit the speaker name, right? And so I'm going to go ahead and just say no for this example. Click generate. All right. So what's great here is now we are getting the video. We're transcribing the video. We're going to analyze it. And from there, we're going to generate some Instagram Reels. We'll generate a caption, create some blog post images, a Twitter thread, LinkedIn post. I'm showing you this because it gives you a little bit of everything so that you have a couple options to choose from, right? You don't need all of this content, but this is just to get us as a starting point. And so we'll let that load as it's creating. Meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and create another project. I'm going to paste in. Now remember, I got some takeaways for digital marketing in here of some ideas. And so perhaps what we'll do is maybe some more social post ideas. We could do that and click next. So we're going to generate some more ideas. Now this is more about marketing in here. And one of the things I'm going to help you to do that's going to change this a little bit more is to put in your target audience, right? And so in this example, I don't have my target audience in here. So it's kind of just taking takeaways and generating it. And so I'm going to show you both things. The one, how we did with a video. Two, how we could change the target audience so that we write towards your customers. All right, this one is still transcribing. All right, transcription is done. Look at that, beautiful. And now we are generating content. So we'll just give this a few moments. All right, so is mini faster than not mini? Yes. Mini is going to be faster in terms of content generation. It doesn't speed up the transcription. The transcription is a completely separate process. But yes, on generating the content, Mini will be a lot faster. And for most use cases, Mini will work well. And so you could try between Mini and regular to see which one you prefer best. So another question, on the video that is being transcribed, can we not do all the ones on the card? Oh, yes. If you don't need Instagram, you don't need X, the way that you would do that is you would actually create a template for what you do need. And so, for example, let's say you use this as a starting point. I would delete all the ones that you typically don't want, right? And once you're done customizing it, then you would save this as a template. So you'd come over here in the three-dot menu, click Save Template, and now you can name it like, my cool content. I'm just making up an example here, and I'm going to save template. And so this is important, right? We give you a lot of starters. We give you templates. You could choose them, generate the content, see the ones that you like, get rid of the ones that you don't, right? And then from there, once you save it, you click Create, and you'll see it right here. So here's your workflow, right? If we had customized it for you. Not only that, but if you want to start from scratch, what I would suggest to everyone is start with a blank transcript. So if I have a lot of templates and I haven't used this one in a while, so it might take me a minute to find. So we have one template that's like, that's called like blank or transcript or something like that. And so if you use that one, it'll, transcript generator. That'll literally only generate the transcript, and then you can manually add all the content cards you want. You don't have to generate all the content first. All right. So project is complete. So let's see some of the assets that we generated so far from this video. So we got a description. This helps you to get some insights on it, right? So the easiest ways to earn online in 2025. Fantastic. And in this case, we generated some Instagram Reels. Now, I know the preview looks landscape, but these can all export in vertical. So you can ignore the preview. That's actually an update we're pushing out tomorrow. So we're excited about that. But you'll see here, now I've got several clips that were generated all from this piece of content, right? And right here, we show you the timestamp. And let's see, this is affiliate marketing insights, low cost, low risk, high reward. So discover how creating viral videos online can become a reliable source of passive income with little to no startup cost. Learn why the effort is worth it and the low risk of nature of affiliate marketing, etc. So this gives you kind of an insight into the video. It grabs a 30 to 60 second snippet, and it actually comes up with a few options. So in this case, discover why drop shipping is a top choice for aspiring business owners, how I earned $6,200 in 35 hours using TikTok Shop, right? So once you get a couple, videos that you have, let's say this is a topic that you want to write about. You could take something like this, and then let's say we go to a LinkedIn post. Now in this example, this is just key takeaways. So let me grab one of the other, the highlights post. I think it's a better format. So you'll see there, I just clicked to add a card. I added the video highlights card, and from there, it's going to automatically leverage the transcript and the content from the video to be able to generate a new post. So this is all about affiliate marketing as a low cost, high potential opportunity. The effort level, they give a real example, making millions. The framework uncovered, it breaks down the framework of what they used. And then it recaps and says, in the full video, this is what you'll discover. So again, you can attribute back to the video if you want to attribute back to it as an example. And if you wanted to create another post, you could come in here. And if you remember, I copied and pasted that one video. So you could actually create a brand new card and say, can you write a viral, this isn't going to be the best prompt, LinkedIn post based on this title and description. I'm just making up an example. If you want to grab that video, give me, let's say my target audience is B2B businesses looking to leverage social media to make money online. So I'm just giving you an example. The prompt could be much better. I could have prepared a better one for you guys, but again, you could put your own prompt in here. If you like some of the prompts we have in some of our other templates, go ahead and copy that and then paste it and then drop it in and then have it in here. So let's see. So you'll see it writes it, and it talks about like why B2B should care. Businesses tapping into these channels aren't just keeping up, they're paving the new road. So it tries to adapt some of the content to it, and then you can iterate based on what you see here. All right, let me see on questions. Probably missed. Okay, thumbnails. We don't create full thumbnails yet in terms of like what you see on YouTube, but we do generate images with AI as an example, which can be customized. This is just an example output. And so in this case, what we do is, for example, from the video, we analyze the transcript, and then we generate 4 images that could potentially be used for either a post, a thumbnail, or a blog post. And it automatically generates it, and it actually gives you the prompt that was used to make it. And so again, this is all based on insights from the video, and you can see, this is talking about like phones, devices, and social and all that. And you could see the different images that was created automatically. And if there's one you like, but you want to change the style, you could just copy the prompt, and so one, you could save these images, they're yours, or 2, you can edit. You could delete the prompt that's there, and you can grab the prompt that was generated for the specific image. You can customize it, do whatever it is you want. You could even say, hey, make a YouTube thumbnail with a dog riding a bike in Miami. I'm just making up an example. You could do 4 images at a time, HD, vivid, and then hit generate. So, we do have image generation in here that you can leverage. And what's great is that could be used for your blog post. It could be used for any other content types. The other one that we have is that we could take screenshots of the video. So I don't think this project had it, but if you come in here, it's called thumbnail options. And what that'll do is it'll go through your video and it'll capture different screenshots throughout the video. That way, at least you can have a screenshot you can use. And then again, you could throw some text on there somewhere else. But for now, that's the extent of what we do. Look at this. Yep. So here's a dog riding a bike in Miami. There you go. That's pretty cute. Pretty fun, huh? This one. All right, there it is. So yeah, this probably doesn't have anything to do with the post, but if you make a lot of money online, I guess you can train a dog to go ride a bike in Miami and have some fun, right? So yeah, that's an example of blog post images. So I guess, coming back, it's like, we want to come up with ideas. How do we get ideas? And just to kind of recap quickly what we've done so far, right? We've leveraged tools like DeepSeek or ChatGPT that searches the internet live. It finds live information, live data of what's happening today. And from there, we're taking that content, we're putting it into Alphana, and we're generating content like LinkedIn posts or tweets, or you could generate blog posts as well, and you can even generate a newsletter, right? You're not just limited to those. The other aspect that we showed is that you could take a YouTube video of anything that might be trending today, or it could be a recent news announcement. It could be something related to your industry, like marketing, social media, digital, B2B, SaaS, right? You could break it down. We grab that video, you put it into Alphana, and now you've got actual reels that you can use to post on Instagram. And you could put your own thoughts by drafting a caption or a post directly in Alphana within it and be like, here's a snippet. You could go watch the full video if you want to. So great. Now you've got reels and snippets that you could use from a YouTube video and post that online. And so the real thought process is like, all right, what is a topic I can look up each day about my industry and take that topic, and now you could create content from it. Just if you haven't seen this before, I think it's important. I mentioned it earlier. If you have multiple speakers in your video, what's cool is that we have this auto AI feature. You could select vertical. You can enable captions. We only have one template and layout for captions today, so you guys could see what it ends up looking like. It just puts the text at the bottom of the video. And you could click auto and download and hit download. So what's great is that you could download one for each format. Let's say you want to do a vertical video because you're going to use that for YouTube Shorts. You could potentially do a square video for another channel, or landscape video if you want to post it maybe on LinkedIn as an example. Can you download an SRT? We don't have an SRT file download yet right now, but if you click on transcript, you could copy the transcript. So you could come in here and you could click copy, and you could take that and put it in any platform that you want. Yeah, how do you use today the SRT files? It is on our roadmap, but maybe this will help. You're looking for SRT files, you upload it to wherever it is that you're posting. It helps with accessibility so that users can adjust how it shows up for them. It makes complete sense. Got it. So for every player, when you're posting it, you'll upload that automatically. Yeah, definitely. It's something that we've had several requests on, and something on our roadmap so that we can provide the SRT files. Is there a way to connect whatever output it is to our actual account instead of copying and pasting? Meaning I can post directly when cards are finished. All right, that is a great question. The answer is it's coming really soon. We're in the middle of development, and hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be able to roll it out to everyone. The feature that we're working on is Webhooks, and Webhooks, what it does, it allows you to connect to other platforms. And what that's going to do is it allow you to set up something like in make.com or Zapier to set up all the different places you want the content to go to. So for example, clips, you might want it to go to YouTube, or the LinkedIn post, you might want to hook it up to LinkedIn, or the blog post that generates automatically. Maybe what you want to do is you want to have that blog post go to your WordPress or Framer website. And so you'll be able to connect each of the cards to whatever destination that you want using webhooks. And that'll be a way to get your content from Alphana out to wherever it is that you want it to be. And in the future, we'll have a lot more direct integrations as well, but that one is something that we're almost done. We're in the middle of finalizing one last piece of it, and then we're going to go into testing. So you would have to set up your own automation. We're going to try to create a few of them as well, so that, maybe some templates that you can use, so it won't be too much of an uplift. But we needed to do the webhooks first before we could do more direct integrations. It's a big overhaul we had to do to our system. So phase 1 is webhooks. You could create any automation, and we're going to try to configure a couple templates to make it much easier and more turnkey for some of you. How would I use their video to create content for me to share with my audience, and of course make it mine, but not showing what the other person is doing? So you want to use the video to be able to create content that you can share. So if it's on video, one of the things we could do inside of Alphana is generate scripts. But that would require you to create video. We don't currently generate avatars for you, although it's something we do have on a roadmap. But what you could do today is you could draft a script. And if I search for scripts, we have, like, for example, short form video script, educational, and we have a long form as well, which might be a couple minutes long. But this one's generally around 45 seconds to a minute. And if you select that card, it'll draft 2 options for a script that you can use to record all based on the insights and the context from the video. And that allows you to make it yours because we're creating something completely new, but we're leveraging some of the insights from the video. And we also bake in the hook, the body of the content, and the closeout CTA, which again, you can customize. But for example, like no one has told you this yet, but TikTok Shop might be your golden ticket. Many want easy cash, but few know how, right? TikTok Shop could be the way. It's possible to make thousands just with your phone and time because every stream could bring income straight to your bank, and it's simpler than most think. So this is just an example, but I mean, again, with millions of videos out there, you could generate enough content and scripts to post at minimum once a day, and you could probably do 3 times a day if you ever want to scale it up. If you create anything from Alphana, or if you use a script and create a video, or if you generated a piece of content and it resonated well with your audience, I'd love to see it. And if you're open to it, we'd love to feature it to everyone else. So we could drive people to your social media. We could send it out to our email list. And, we just love showing what people are creating every day on Alphana. And so please send over those submissions. And Jane's goal, her goal is to do 3 times a day and then create 3 long form videos a week. That is huge. And yes, definitely a tool like Alphana could help you with helping you in getting ideas and creating content for that. Right now, just for everyone's knowledge, I mean, it is a volume play. You need good quality, right? Don't post crap and stuff that doesn't resonate with your audience. But volume is huge. It's really important. You have to figure out a way to cut through the noise. You got to create great content. And, as much as you work on one piece of content, it's never going to be perfect. And you never know if that's the one that's going to go viral or it's going to get you that next customer or anything like that. And so you just have to keep putting content out to find the ones that resonate really well with your audience that can then turn into leads, sales, and new business opportunities for you. You need to do like 10 pieces of content in order to get one just to get anything decent. Again, that comes down to volume. It definitely does. For some people, you might get it in 5 to 7. Some might take 20. But on average, it's like, yeah, maybe for every 10, you'll see something that drives something to you. I think the most important thing when you're working on your content strategy is don't give up. Don't worry about what the view count says, what the lead flow looks like, or anything, or like the leads that came in yet. As long as everything is working, you keep putting out content, be more consistent on a day-to-day basis, and you'll see that naturally you'll see your impressions go up, you'll see your counts, you'll see leads that come through. Just ignore it. I've seen people who took 60 days before they got one piece of business. And from then on, they went viral and they end up making millions of dollars. If they gave up after a month of posting, once, twice, or 3 times a day, they would have never seen that opportunity. And so it's both a volume play and a consistency and long-term play into seeing what it is. And so what I would hate for most of you to do is to start and then stop, and then a year later regret, what would have happened if I just kept going, right? Don't let that happen to you. And you can leverage tools like what you see here, like Alphana and ChatGPT and other things to help you to get that content. And again, the session I did last week helps you to make it more personalized. This session was to help you with coming up with more ideas just based on existing content. And again, AI content is only bad if you don't tailor it, or it's content that doesn't resonate with your audience, right? I mean, I think it's really important that we can leverage AI, make the tweaks you need, grab the insights that you need, like cut out the tedious parts that you don't want to be involved in. Some people will say, hey, I want to write it by myself, but do you want to spend 3 hours researching? No, great. Go use tools like these to be able to research, and maybe you could draft or get ideas, right? And so eliminate the parts of the process that you absolutely just don't want to do. And those are the things that we can help enable. All right, next question. When I do a piece of content and it does well, can Alphana help me to recreate more content along the same lines, or would chat be a better option? Yes, so you could definitely use Alphana to come up with more content ideas just based on the content that's already in here. And so you could do it with chat if you're just really trying to get one particular post. But for example, I'll give you one example here. You don't have to use Alphana to create the full post, right? Like I'm just going to use blog as an example, but this works for LinkedIn. It works for Instagram. It works for anything. We have a card called blog ideas, right? Brainstorm some blog post ideas. And if I select that one, it'll come up with a couple ideas for blog posts based on this video. And so this allows you to repurpose one video into so many others that have nothing to do with the first one. And so if you look at this, it's like, all right, how to boost your income with affiliate marketing, right? This gives you a breakdown and steps on what you could do. This one talks about drop shipping 101. This one talks about TikTok shopping, the new frontier for content creators. Look at this, unlock passive income, why short form content is key. Dive into mastering short form video content can serve as digital real estate and create long-term passive income streams, right? So these are all ideas. And guess what? If let's say you found one and you're like, wow, this is such a great post. I'm going to take, let's do drop shipping 101. Now I'm going to come above it. I'm going to add a new card. I'm going to do create my own. And I'm going to paste this idea that I found that was absolutely great. Like, please write a 1,000 word blog article about this topic. Sorry, using this title and description, right? I'm just giving you an example. And so yes, you could do this in ChatGPT, but we have insights from the video. So maybe you could tie in some of those insights from the video along with the specific title and the direction that you want the AI to go in. And it'll go ahead and now create with the title that you requested and all about the business model that you asked for. So what is dropshipping? Why is dropshipping? Getting started with Shopify, dropshipping with AutoDS, mitigating risks, potential challenges. I mean, this just gave me a beautiful article that you could do. And you could take, and so one example would take my long form video that did halfway decent and use that for content. 100%, if you record a long form video, I mean, you should put that in here and look at all the content and ideas you could create just from the long form video you did. And that long form video, number one, will come up, you can come up with probably 5 to 10 clips. And so that's 10 different social posts that you could do online, right? And not only that, but you'll generate the blog post, you could generate the newsletter. Like if I look at this example here, we generate an entire newsletter that you can send out to your readers. And again, the format can change. It doesn't have to be this exact format. And so you could turn any video into a newsletter, into blog posts, or into social media posts. Yeah, so much old content that could turn into emails. I think that's the other trick, and we could probably cover that in another session. But you know, today we looked at a lot of recency, but if many of you have had content, videos, emails, anything, that's a huge opportunity to start repurposing it and putting it out there and turning it into something new. And you could do that. Last week's going to go into more personalization. We really went into covering how to make the content sound more like you, changing the tone, the style, how to use custom instructions. So definitely I say go back. That's like the first place you start in Alphana. Go do all of that and test it out and make sure it comes out the way you want, and then start generating more content from it. That's going to be important. If you ever run into an issue with a YouTube import, sometimes waiting a few minutes and trying again. If not, what you could do is shoot me a message in our chat. So if you go to our inside of Alphana, you click the chat bubble, shoot a message, and so our AI will usually jump in first, but just click talk to a human. That makes sure that it gets sent to our team. I take a look at it. Some YouTube videos, like for example, if it has copyrighted content or from certain places, it might not be able to pull in, or YouTube at the time has, you know, there's like rate limits. And so there could be numerous things that might happen, but we'll take a look at it for you. But for the most part, you shouldn't have any issues with YouTube. So it might have just been a hiccup. Past videos, that's going to be inside of our community, community.alphana.ai. If you go there, we're going to be posting all the replays there. Also on our YouTube channel, we'll be putting it in both places once we've put the video up, and we'll send out a link to everyone so you have access to the replay. But one suggestion I make to everyone, Alphana can do a ton. You don't have to use everything. Start with one thing at a time, and then little by little, you can expand what you do in your workflows. So I'm always happy to help. If you have any questions, please just let me know. Next week, we're going to do this again. Again, we're doing, you know, our Alphana Insider Live is something we're going to be doing every single week. And we're going to put out new tips, new tricks. We're going to show you things that you can do in Alphana. We'll try to tie them to real use cases. And again, if you have use cases, submit it to me in advance and we'll try to wrap it into the conversation. We've got some big features that are releasing later this week. And so most likely next week, our session, we'll dive deeper into our new Clips Manager feature. And so it's going to help a lot with workflows. And so I'm looking forward for everyone to joining us next week. We'll show you our new product features and rollout, open up Q&A, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you so much for joining our second edition of Alphana Insider Live. Again, I'm Sebastian Mora, and I'm the CEO and co-founder. So if you need anything at all, please, you can reach out to me directly. Thank you. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.